Welcome to the Colorful Clipboard, where we discuss the building blocks of making dough in childcare. I'm Kate.
And I'm Carrie.
Welcome back to Colorful Clipboard. Carrie and I are so excited to have you here today. And we want to talk a little bit about 20 years. Okay, so 20 years is how long Carrie and I have been doing Texas Director and Director Credentialing Program. This year, our book came out. We have an awesome workbook that goes with it. You can also get the workbook just as an electronic download. And these are the books that we use for our director credentialing courses. And we wanted to talk a little bit about how you learn. We did an episode a few weeks ago, kind of talking about audiobooks. Oh, and by the way, our book does come as an audiobook and a Kindle. So, but I want to make sure that when you are thinking about your own professional development, especially if you're looking into to management or ownership, when you think of Texas Director, we want to make sure that you understand what course is the best fit, because we do have directors who don't always finish the course. And it's not that they didn't have the desire to finish the course just wasn't a good match to begin with. So Carrie, tell me a little bit about the different formats, I guess, that the course comes in. And
yeah, we've got 4 formats right now. We started with 1, then we went to 2, then we went to 3, and now we're at 4. We eventually maybe a little bit 27. I don't know.
No.
So we've got the foundation class, which is the class that's really designed for somebody who is self-directed and is going to be working inside an organization. So those 2 things together, they need to be somebody who can keep themselves on schedule. They need to be self-motivated, and they learn well through seeing or hearing. So they're auditory or visual learners, because it comes with an audio, they get to watch videos of our crazy faces, and then they get the book in whatever format they want. And then there's assignments. I mean, why am I describing this? Kate, you're the primary instructor for that. Why the heck am I talking about it?
I just thought maybe you'd tell us what the 4 different types were.
Oh, okay.
From there.
Okay, so I'll stop going deep on each one. So there's the foundations class, which is designed for the people we just talked about. Then we have the weekender course, where you also get the video access to Kate and I being our crazy selves and trying to impart a little bit of knowledge. And then in addition to that, you have a weekend face-to-face. If there's a pandemic, the face-to-face may be on Zoom, but it's definitely face-to-face for 16 to 20 hours, depending on how late we go some nights, because you guys won't let me go home, of us going through the materials. And then we have the new one that Kate has just launched, which is our Wednesday night class. I don't know if it'll always be Wednesdays, but the next one is Wednesdays. So it's a nighttime class over the course of 6 weeks. So it's doing the same type of thing that we do in the weekender, but it's doing it online, 2 hours a night for 6 weeks.
And you are in a cohort with students.
Right. So you have a small group, just like you do in the weekender.
Yeah. So you have a small group, and then you engage using a Facebook group. So we hope. We'll talk about the details later. Sorry.
And then the fourth version is the one that we designed for people who want one-on-one. And usually they want one-on-one either because they need to go really quickly. They're like, I need one-on-one. I need to be done in a week. Or they want one-on-one because they are wanting to open or purchase a center. So that's and that's called Director Success Personalized. So we've got, you like an instructor. So you do weekender or weeknight with Kate or me. So that's you like to have an instructor. You work really well self-paced and learning online. That's foundations. You want one-on-one. That is Director Success.
All right. So great. So we have these different formats, and I just want to give a quick history. So 20 years ago, when Carrie and I drafted this first version of the course, we did so because there wasn't a program, a certification program in the Central Texas area. Over the course of the last 20 years, we have worked with well over 1,500 directors who have gotten their certification, sometimes just one time. Others stay with us for literally 15, 16, 17 years when they're renewing. And so we have been really fortunate to have some great raving fans over the course of the last 20 years. And we've tried really hard to listen to what directors wanted. So when the course was originally designed, we were just in the weekender format because
we did 2 weekends.
We did 2 weekends because everybody else who taught this course on a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 in a hotel. And so it was, yeah. And so that was, that meant that you had to take a whole week off, or your employer was paying for your week as well. So we decided Friday through Sunday, and we went with 2 because at the time we didn't have the technology available to record or to have that available. So you needed that 40 hours face-to-face to cover all the content. Now, why do we have the different formats? Because, well, there's content that the state tells us we have to have, and then there's content that Carrie and I, based on our experiences, not only in the industry, but with the directors who've come before you, they've told us they wanted to know. So it may not be on the list of what licensing says we have to teach, but it's what previous directors have said, I really wish I knew.
Yeah, because apparently licensing doesn't care if you can manage your time or if you know HR laws. I don't know why they don't think that's important. You're in charge of people and you have too many jobs. You have to be able to manage your time. All right.
All right. So let me give you I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Foundations course. So the Foundations course was started in 2005. So that was our second version of the course. And it was our first online course. And at the time, we were the first program in the state of Texas that had an online approved course. And it is an instructor-led course. You do have to do discussion boards. You are responsible for interacting with the instructor, which is me. And then you get your content through director delivered. Now, we have videos, we have a book, we have assignments. I'll be honest with you, however you get the assignments done, I'm not going to be able to keep track of, okay? I would like you to watch the videos and read the book. However,
we don't have we don't give you 5 participation points for every video that the system tells us you have watched, because some people don't need the visual, they can read the book, they can get the content.
Exactly. So, and there is not a big test at the end of the course. So there is some.
Why do we not do that? Why do most of the other director credentialing classes have a final and we don't have a final?
So we really felt at the beginning of developing our course that we wanted you to leave with practical projects and assignments. And so it didn't make sense to us to have you do that and take a test. There are some quizzes and there are projects that are designed to be helpful. Now, if you go to an existing program, you're going to spend more time doing review of your materials. If you're creating a brand new program, you're going to be creating things that you need for your business anyway.
And we also do it that way because, quite frankly, the research in how adults learn best is that you learn a topic and then you solidify the topic with an activity. So that's how we set it up, so that there's a topic that is taught in the book and in the videos, and then you solidify it by the quiz or the activity. So we're trying to follow best practices for how adults learn, because I hate to tell you this, guys, but you guys are all adults. So, when we're setting the class up, we're not just doing it because we want you to have some practical hands-on, which we do, but it's also, that's how adults learn and retain information. So that's how the course is set up. Oh, hair's doing crazy things. So I guess, is there anything else you want people to know about the Foundations course?
So the foundations course is intended to take you roughly 40 hours to complete. And this is assuming that you don't have all of the information completed ahead of time. In other words, you don't maybe have a parent handbook and a staff handbook. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be starting everything from scratch. So if you are starting from scratch in this program, in the foundations, it may take you a little more than 40. But our intent is that this takes you 40 hours.
Okay. And so most of the students, do they get that 40 hours done in 1 week, 1 year? What's the time frame that most of your students get it finished?
So we give you 6 months to get it finished unless you reach out to us in advance and tell us why. And usually it's because you've had some sort of family hardship or program hardship. However, we have directors who will finish it in a weekend because they went to their office at their job and they finished it, which is always my suggestion to people who are on a time crunch, because if you try to do it at home, there's going to be things you need at work. Like the parent handbooks and the staff handbooks and classroom layout and classroom schedule. Those are probably all things that you have at your center and may not necessarily have at home.
So then the next one is the Weekender course, which is the one that I lead most of the time. I have been known to deal with some online students, and Kate's been known to take some Weekender classes, but generally she does online and I generally do Weekender. So the Weekender class is a small group. We don't allow that class to get any larger than 9, depending on our location, but 9 is the largest we like in that class. So we get together and we start off. Everybody ahead of time has had access to the videos and has bought their book, crossing my fingers. They've definitely had access to the videos, and they're supposed to have their book, because I will continue to refer to the book as if they have read it. And I'll refer to things in the videos. So if you haven't watched the videos and read the book before you come to class, there's going to be things where you're like, I'm going to need to go back and circle back to that. And I get it. Sometimes people sign up for the class on Monday and they're going to take the class on Saturday and there was no time to get all that done. I understand, but you're going to need to watch those videos and read the book in order to get all the information you're going to need to be a successful director. So I think another thing that sets us apart from other programs is that our focus is you being able to do this job without being overwhelmed. It's not just, this is what licensing says you need to know. We want you to know there's going to be hard weeks, and there's going to be weeks where you could cry tears of joy because everything is so wonderful. And so we try to help you focus in on your why. Why are you doing this? So that you can get through those rough weeks. And, the Weekender and also the Wednesday nights classes, we're able to tailor what goes into those specific lectures based on the students in that class. So if I've got 8 students in that class and they all have a child development background, but none of them have ever run a marketing campaign for anything, even to the level of being a Girl Scout and needing to sell 1,000 boxes of cookies, we're going to spend a lot more time on marketing than we are on child development, because everybody's worked in the field for 5 years. So if they don't know yet how to handle a tantrum, there's nothing I'm going to be able to tell them after they've been in the field for 5 years. But I can help them to understand how to identify their clients, et cetera. On the other hand, if I've got 3 people in that class of 8 who have a business background, but have only had their own personal children, we're going to talk about some classroom management, and we're going to use each other's prior knowledge as resources, so that when you leave the class, you actually have a little peer group, so that when something goes at your center, you can call me, obviously, or Kate, but you can also call those other directors who went through the class with you and be like, has a parent ever said something like this to you? Or I really just want to tell him to eat dirt. how do I say that without saying eat dirt? So, that small group really helps you to start building your network. And you'll have your own inside jokes because of what happened in that weekend or that nighttime class. I have, a number of classes where one or more people will just send me monkeys randomly through. I get monkeys throughout the year. People just send me monkeys. I love it. I love the monkeys. If I could paint monkeys, I would be painting monkeys and sending them out to all of you guys, but I've never been able to successfully paint that animal. So we do that for 2 days. You do the assignments as we go. You'll do some Saturday night, some Sunday night. You've got up to 6 weeks to finish the assignments. Bang, bang, boom. You get a credential, you send it to licensing, zap, zip, zap, zoom. Okay. So let's talk about the Wednesday night class or the weeknight class.
So the weeknight class is designed to be 6 weeks. And those 6 weeks are going to be roughly 2 hours per week. And it'll be a combination of kind of some what's gone on in your center this week. There will be a lecture, and then there will be some discussion. There will be another mini lecture and some more discussion. The intent is that you will have read assigned chapters before you jump on the course.
So this is much, much less front end loading than with the Weekender. You don't have to watch all of the videos and read all of the book before you come to class.
Correct. So you will be given an assignment. However, there will be the expectation that you did read those chapters, and you actually will have work that you need to share. So live or recorded videos of yourself that you will be expected to share on a Facebook group before that week and after that week. So related to the same content, but you'll have, I'm going to use the time management one as an example. You will be asked to do one of the time management activities before we talk. In the director workbook, you will be asked to reflect on that in the Facebook group. And then you have a follow-up implementation or Monday morning action plan recording that you will do the following week or after that Wednesday night. So for those of you who might, just a Weekender isn't going to work because of time, location, or, you've got a little more time, but you just aren't sure you're self-driven enough. So it is open.
I think it's really good for somebody who's like in an assistant director position now, and the director is like, I'm going to be gone within a year. Mm-hmm. So I think it's really great for that situation.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got 6 weeks, so again, 6 weeks is what you have to finish the homework if you're doing the Weekender course. But if the Weekender course is not a weekend that works for you, but you think that's still maybe a format you like, I think you will actually really like this course. Now, if you are completely technophobic and you just are completely like, I can't even conceptualize taking a full-blown online course, that is okay, because we can actually walk you through that. But if you are that way, believe it or not, the foundation course is probably the course for you, because even Carrie's Weekender course, you have to be able to figure out how to get to videos.
Yep, all of them you have to be able to, but we do put it as like, here's one button, push the one button, and Weekender, in all 3 of them,
right,
we make it as one button that you have to push. Right now, we're working on revamping how the course is delivered, so it might be each section gets a button going forward, which will be very exciting, I have to tell you. Okay, and then the last version, we're not going to talk about a huge amount, but that is our Director Success Personalized, and that is for people who want one-on-one. They don't want to be in a small group, and they don't want to be self-paced. They were like, I need you and me, and we're going to be in a place. If Kate is your one-on-one instructor, I will tell you will probably be at some Starbucks and some McDonald's, because that's where Kate likes to do one-on-ones. I think she has a need to be close to coffee that somebody else has created for her. I do a fair amount through Zoom, and then I'll do 1 or 2 in person, no matter where you are in the state of Texas. If you're in Central Texas, we might do more of them face-to-face. But Kate will usually go, okay, we're doing a one-on-one. We're going to do 1.5 days together in a Starbucks. She's going to power you through there.
If you do decide that that's the format you want, Carrie and I do try to have conversations with you to figure out which one of us is probably the better match based on your background. So in other words, if you have a lot of business and not a lot of early childhood, you might end up with Carrie. If you have a franchise, you're probably going to end up with Carrie. If you're somewhere in between, it may be either one of us depending on schedule. So.
Yeah. I'm just giving Kate a little bit of a hard time because of the number of one-on-ones she has done at McDonald's over the years.
Part of that was because one of us usually had kids. It's definitely not because McDonald's is my preference when it comes to food. But if I have a director who has children, or I have my children, which
they're now old.
Yeah, like they're all now adults. So I'm not dragging my children to McDonald's. Yeah, oh, that's funny to think about.
Anyway, so whether you have Kate or whether you have me, and we're bringing on probably another instructor, hopefully in the next couple of months, your personalized director success coach will definitely be somebody who has been a director for more than a year. You've got Kate or I. They will have been a director for more than a decade. And we will help you either get it done quickly if that's what you need, or we will help you prepare for taking on that new role as an owner of a new center, whether it's new to you or new to the world. Because if you're buying it, it's new to you. And, I have done those. I have done all three of those. Kate has helped me with the buying centers and taking them over. So Kate has a lot of experience with that also. And she has done a lot of coaching with people who have purchased centers. And if you follow our instructions, if you're buying a center, you will lose very few families. And if you instead decide to go, oh, so I heard everything you said. So I painted all the classrooms and rearranged them all. Expect to lose some families. Yes, this is a specific owner. And after she did that and lost families, she called us very, sheep-faced and was like, I guess you were right. But anyway, that's what the personalized is for, is to help you either get through it really quickly because you've accepted a job and they're like, great, where's your credential? And you're like, let me get back to you on that. Or you're taking over or starting a center from scratch. So that's what the personalized is there for. So,
and finally, I just want to add, and Carrie may have another finally too, but if you've listened to this far and you're thinking, okay, I'm still not really sure, pick up the phone and call us. If you think some other version of this might work best for you, again, let us know. I mean, the Wednesday night course or the evening course came out of really people doing the self-paced course that were having a really hard time getting all the way done. They'd get about 3/4 of the way done, and then they'd come back in a year and want to know if they could finish.
Yeah, we had one that emailed us this last week who started the class 4 years ago and was like, can I finish it now? And I was like, that's not how classes work.
Especially because we're on like the 4th platform. But
anyway, so we're just trying to help you guys. If you've got friends who are wanting to be directors and they don't know how, and you know that the way you took the class doesn't work for them, we want you to be able to guide them in the right direction. And
or just send them a link.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. And we'll talk more in other podcast episodes about our other things we have available, because we do more than just the director credentialing. We train at centers, we train at conferences, and we have a lot of training material that you can use for your staff or for yourself for your annual training. But this is our cornerstone. This is our foundation, and wanted to talk about our baby for a little while.
Y'all have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you for listening to Colorful Clipboards. Connect with us on social media at Colorful Clipboard or send us an email to hello@colorfulclipboards.
Send us your voicemail with your own questions and stories. If you want to keep learning with us, visit Texas Director, where we continue to have seminars, licensing, programs, and more.
This show has been made by me, Carrie Casey, and Kate Young with assistance from Hallie Casey and Marie Young. If you learned something today, share the show.